Welcome back to another review. I've got a light in from Thrunite to look at. It's the T2, brand new model that's come out, and the company sent this in for review. Quick specs on screen for you, and then we'll just show you some of the items that you get included. There's your user guide and warranty card. Nice to see you also get a spare port cover and 2 spare O-rings included in the box. Pretty standard wrist strap, the low profile adjuster. And we also get the Type-C to Type-A charging cable. Thrunite have included a holster with this, and it's what I would call a sort of basic holster. It's more of that sort of foam padding it feels, but it's not the neoprene thick one. It just feels a little bit lightweight to me, a little bit lower grade than I'd expect. Sort of holster that you'd get with a budget light. Nice that it's included, but I think they could have done a bit better on the quality. Still, we'll move on to the light itself now, and I've put the specs up on screen for you. This is pretty small. It's not quite as small as the Nitecore E4K, but it's pretty close. Very much looks like a larger version of the T1, which I looked at recently. Obviously, we've got a larger battery in this, but it's still pretty pocketable considering the 21700 battery. They do have grooves in the head, but they're not that deep. Bit of knurling on the body. It's a reasonable enough design, not unhappy with it. This is the LED XHP70, and it's a very shallow reflector, which does have a bit of texture on it. You do have the coating there as well, so we're expecting a pretty wide beam on that. On the base there is no magnet on this, just in case you're wondering, and there's your hole for the wrist strap if you want to attach that. I'll pop open the cover on the Type-C port. Nice that they've got that. I think it's the way to go. With this cover, it can be a little bit fiddly because it's quite a thick block under there, so you really have to sort of push it all the way around to get it to seat back in properly, so a bit fiddly on that one. We'll unscrew the head now, just take a look inside and show you the overall build. There's a contact point at the top, and that also means that you can't use the flat seal batteries with this. You need a spacer, and the battery that's included, 5000 milliamp hour, 21700, but it's a custom type, even though the contacts are not custom. Downside with that is if you put it into a charger, you'll need to use a spacer on it, but it will fit the Olight lights if you've got any of those. Quick comparison next to some other batteries. Both of these batteries will work. The Rofus works without a spacer, and the Nitecore, just put a spacer on the top and that will work. Not really sure why they've included a custom battery, unless it's in another model that I haven't looked at. Quick shot inside, there's your spring at the bottom. The overall build is fine on this. There's no real complaints. They've greased up the threads. The overall fit and finish feels fine. Not sure about Thrunite's anodization, but that only time will tell on that. We'll move on to the user interface now. It's pretty simple on this, so pretty easy to pick up. A single press for on and off, and you can just hold it in once it's on to cycle through the 3 power levels. Remember, we've got 5 levels in total. Get to the Firefly mode, just push and hold the switch when you're turning it on and it goes straight into that. Now if you want to lock it out, you have to stay in the Firefly mode and then push the button in for about a second, and then it will lock out and the side switch will light up red just to let you know that you're locked out. The only downside with this UI is if you're in the Firefly, you have to turn it off and then turn it on again to change the power level. That's the only complaint that I really have. It just takes a little bit getting used to, so it's pretty good apart from that one area. Comparing it to the Phoenix, which I looked at recently, they're quite different in terms of the body size and design. The PD40R, quite liked that. It's got a different switch on it. Design, it's a rotary magnetic, but it's a fair bit longer than the Thrunite, but there is a reason for that, and that's because it's a much longer range light. Hence the deeper reflector and a smoother reflector, so they're completely different in terms of design and build. And I've got some beam shots coming up with this light and a few other ones just to show you how much these lights can vary. I'll show you the battery level indicator now. That comes on and stays on all the time. I'd prefer if it kicked in around about 30% for red, but that's just a small niggle of mine. At least you get the 3-stage indicator. No problems with charging. Termination's fine, 4.18 volts. What I did find with the clip is head up perhaps sticks up a little bit much, so I prefer it head down, but it can be a tight fit on jeans because the clip isn't that big. So a little bit more space on the clip and that would have been perfect. User guides up on screen for you to look at, and then we'll start off on the beam shots. my standard light, which is the Unicorn 1 850 lumens. I'm using an ultra wide angle lens for these shots so that you can see the difference. Phoenix is pretty throwy for a light, particularly when you get up to the 3000 lumens, quite a long range on that. The Sofern, which I've put here, has just come in for review, so I'll be doing that shortly. And that's more of a mixed beam with an emphasis a bit on the flood, but it has a bit more range than many of the lights. And we'll get finally onto the T2. You can see it's a very floody light. It does have a bit of a hot spot in the middle, but it's very diffused, and you can see just how wide the beam pattern is on that. There's no right and wrong with this, it's really just down to what you prefer. So you've got a choice of 3 different beam patterns there on these lights, and they're all quite different in terms of styling and design. We'll carry on with a few more beam shots now, and I'll give you a summary at the end of the video. Just to give you a few thoughts on the T2, one point to note is with the drop down test, you'll see that it holds the level much better on the high versus the turbo. It does pick up heat quite a bit on the turbo. Around about 30 seconds, it's starting to feel a bit uncomfortable, so they're right on the limit with the thermals on this. A few things that could be tweaked, like the holster, and I prefer a bit more spacing between the levels, but it does offer a compact body with a pretty high output. Price on this isn't bad compared to some of the other lights out there. It's a bit cheaper. Also, you've got the Type-C port as well. Personally, it's not really my kind of light. I prefer something with a bit more range, but it might be an interesting option if you're into the big flood type lights out there. I've got some more light videos coming up as well. I've got another Phoenix and the Sofern to do, so do stick around, and thanks very much for watching.